Look at, there's everybody. Hey, good to see you.
Hello, everybody. Hello. Good night.
Oh,
Hi, Sherry.
wow. So good
Sheila.
to see everybody.
Hi, Carolyn. Hi, Jennifer.
Hey,
minimized over there.
Hi, Desi.
hello. How are you?
Great. I can't complain.
Great day. You have a different backdrop, it looks like.
Yeah, I'm in Florida.
Ooh, nice.
First lady,
Yeah.
you left me.
Hi, Sharon.
You left me in the cold, First Lady.
I did. I had to get out. I couldn't take it any longer. Hi, Parker. Hi, Brian.
Hi, Donna.
Hey, Chris.
Haven't seen
What's
you
up?
for
Hey,
a long
Donna.
time.
Jesse.
Hi.
Great background, Parker.
Man, look at this. It's fabulous. Hi, Sharon.
Linda.
Oh my gosh, it's a great
morning.
day.
Good morning.
Clearly, Linda is on her way to work.
On the road.
On my way to a new client meeting, yes.
Yes, girl, you go.
I know, she is a rock star, isn't she?
Yes, she is.
Fantastic.
Let's go, ladies.
Man, well, I'm super excited about the topic that we're going to be sharing today. But before we dive into it, I do actually have some announcements that I would like to make. So if you happen to have been joining us recently, I've been sharing some really cool information, right? We have some workshops coming up and it's out there. I have some links I can share for you. Sharon's here. Maybe Sharon is wanting to share, or can I just keep on going blabbing on here?
Oh, you're doing just fine, Desi. Keep going.
Okay, so I actually have the link to the information. And so let me go get that for us. I'll put that into our chat. But do you remember I told you we had 2 phenomenal workshops coming up? And that would be, I'm multitasking here, so bear with me while I do this, okay? Somebody's at the door, right? So we have the Autel workshop coming up, and that'll be on April 2nd. And then we also have the information for the disaster response training. And I have the link also available for both those workshops. I have the press release for it. So I'm going to share all the information. That disaster response workshop is so exciting. It is amazing. It is a 4 days. There's 3 scenarios and it is just awesome. Super exciting. And that's starting May 2nd. So, and then there's a little bit of details that have to be met as far as each workshop's a little bit different. So I'm going to go ahead and put those into our chat right now. And you can check those out. And it's coming now. The first one is the Autel one, and that's in Utah, and the other one is in Austin, Texas. And so I put the information in there. The press release is up and everything.
Excited. We got some good workshops, hands-on workshops. Gotta love those.
I know. Isn't that
nothing like hands-on workshops?
Where in Utah?
Salt Lake City.
All right, thanks.
Yes. So, all right, super exciting. So the details are in there. Check it out. We got the press release, and we're just grateful for everyone that is helping us and participating with us and getting that ball rolling for those incredible opportunities. So, all right, with that, we are good to go because we have our spotlight speaker here with us today. And I really like this topic because it's a real life story. Okay, Kim, what are you saying there?
I said Jennifer. I haven't seen you in a while. You heard me whisper that?
Man.
It's been a while, I know.
Yeah, we miss you. We're so happy that it's been a while, though, because that means business is growing, and we are super excited about that for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
We'll talk after.
Okay. Awesome. All right. So Sheila is our spotlight speaker today. She has a story to share. And so I'm pretty excited to have her here with us today to talk about an incident that she had, and I'm not sure if it got resolved, but she had a scam, a potential scam coming down, and she wants to maybe give us some tips and tricks and ideas of how we can avoid a situation like she has been in. Sheila, before you start though, can you share a little bit about you, your company, how you got started in the drone industry, and then we'll take off from there. And share about your situation that you found yourself in here recently.
Yes. So I first of all want to thank Desi, Kim, and Sharon, first of all, because I look forward to this meeting every single week, and it inspires me each and every week. So thank you so much. And happy International Women's Day. Today is I'm so excited. It fell and everything lined up, and I cannot thank you enough for that, and the opportunity to share my humiliating incident. I felt completely devastated and gutted over it, and reached out to Desi, and I'm like, where do you find a used drone and get it from somebody that you trust? And shared my incident with her, and I felt just absolutely beyond stupid with what happened. So I just hope by sharing my experience that none of you have to go through it. And I'm sure some of you already have, and I'm just so sorry. So I am born and raised Western New York, which means Buffalo, Niagara Falls area, not New York City. So I'm closer to Lake Erie and Toronto and that part of New York. And when I went through college for teaching, every job had dried up in the area. So I moved down to Texas, and I was in the DFW area for about 10 years, in Arlington, HEB area, and taught in Fort Worth. Driver's ed was my main thing. I ran a driver's ed school down there. So that was a interesting experience I lived through. So yes, it was challenging. You think astronauts have it bad? Try a Honda Civic with a new driver in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. That's anyway. So met that challenge. And then my sister lives in Juneau, Alaska, and she started having little ones, and that drew me up to Juneau for about 10 years. So I have driven across the continent and enjoyed every moment of it. After moving up to Juneau, I did more public service and did public administration for the state of Alaska with Department of Law and Department of Health and Social Services. So I did a bunch of administrative duties up there with HR and grants and everything administrative and accounting, financial, all that fun stuff. Then hopped on a ferry for 3 days down to Washington, lived there for about a year, and then decided to drive back home. Me and my cat traversed across the continent one more time and back home with mom. So did Census 2020, saw the extent of, what has happened to the area, and full right in front of me face in Census 2020 with, COVID going and everything else. And was really kind of lost during COVID. And then all of a sudden, someday, UA Visuals had a posting. Now they are based in Australia, and I don't know what Aaron does, but he does it very well. And I tripped over drones, and all of a sudden it was done. And I grew up on the hip of a photojournalist for the local newspaper. So I love photography and did not realize that it would come back around for me. And now with this drone that I don't need to explain it one more. It's a passion. It just all of a sudden is inside of you, and there's nothing you can do to extinguish it. And it's there. And now I'm trying to take everything in. I have, love women in drones with all my heart and soul. And then beyond that, now I'm doing chat rooms and trying to take podcasts in, anything drone related. I'm trying to learn and absorb, and I want to get into the industry, and I'm finding that marketing and advertising right now is going to be my way in to then the market, the mapping and the more commercial aspects of drones, which I find very intriguing. But as a teacher, I really want to get into the STEM and introducing the younger generation into the avionics. Oh, that just drives me absolutely. So that's very interesting for me. So that's a little background on me. I know it's a lot, sorry. Just everyone has their background. So yes, that it's extremely varied for me, but I'm sure everyone else's is as well. And then with COVID, it just goes from there. But as a new person coming on, my very first drone was the Autel Evo 2 Pro. First drone ever, and I'm hooked. It's love it, love it, love it. And then I went and got a DJI Mavic 2 Enterprise Dual. So I have those two assets, and I'm working from there and trying to build a portfolio. And then just recently met another local drone operator this past weekend, and hopefully we're going to meet later today and work together and collaborate and grow. And he's fantastic, and so is his wife. So I am beyond excited for that opportunity. But I want to share my experience that I've had a couple of recent, but I'm going to hone in on this one that really wrecked me, because after I had the experience on Drone Trader, I had a sense that one was going to go south really quick. I went and I turned to what I thought was a more trusted website with the Facebook commercial drone pilots page, and you'll see the exact page, but I chose not to show the pilot, the other person's business at this point. I don't think that's relevant. I want to show you the experience. I want hopefully to show you some things that I saw that raised red flags, and I did not act on them right away. And I want to share and make sure that you guys do and not lose any money or drones, that you're shipping off. So from there, let's just hop right into it. I went ahead and made a little presentation with some screenshots and things. So I hope it comes through very quickly here. Let me share my screen. Here we go, and let me maximize it for you so that it shows all pretty. Is it okay?
Yes, now we are. We're good.
Okay, great. So it's just the intro here. And then, of course, Happy International Women's Day. I had to throw that slide in. And now I'm stuck on why I'm not forwarding here. Okay, let's keep going. So I did our introduction. I want to get into the example real quick for you. How many of you have tried to buy a drone online? If you'd raise your hand or throw a yes or no in the comments so that we can know if you've attempted to purchase one online. And if you have been scammed, and I'm sorry, but if you're willing to share an example, perhaps in a little bit, that would be fantastic as well, because I know that I'm not alone, and I'm sorry. If you did answer yes, you are not alone. There are over 42,000 of us that were scammed last year, simply alone in online shopping. So when you are going on to online, whether it's Facebook shopping, this is all included, social media. So it's a huge number, 107, basically $100.8 million is lost, and trying to get it back. When you call the police to say, hey, I shipped my drone off and now this person didn't pay me, guess what look you get from the two police officers that show up at your door? Okay, dummy. It's not very, the emotional toll on just the scamming is just, I never saw it coming. So it's just ridiculous. So I found a DJI Inspire 2 that I thought looked, whoops, something's going backwards here. So sorry. Here we go. My first drone was this baby. She crashed. I sent it to Autel. They said she could not be repaired. And I started my search. I found this on the Facebook SUAS pilots page. She looks gorgeous, doesn't she? I mean, looks in the background, it looks like a very well-established business to me. The deal looked great. Here's the comments. Even Vic said it looked like a great deal. I mean, wouldn't you dive on it if you need a drone? I mean, yeah. So, I mean, from those examples real quick, here's the other photo that I was asked. Whoops, where did it go? So sorry. There was another photo. I don't know why it's not sharing right now, but it was another photo of the what was coming. So you need an asset. Redundancy is challenging because we throw a drone up and we have no idea what can happen. Anything can happen. We always look for the ever elusive sell high, buy low, don't we? Every single time. That's why we go beyond the red flags, because we want the deal. Take the deep breath. I trusted the seller. I looked for the business. It was legitimate. So was the owner of the business. They sent me more information on their business. They shared a news article that was done on them. So it was a legitimate business. So I went ahead and we made an agreement. He agreed to, 2 payments for me. I said, hey, I want the drone. Will you take half now and I pay you half the next week? He agreed. So I sent him the final payment. He said, hey, I'll ship it today. That was on the 24th. He quoted me $410 to ship the 60-pound package from Florida up to New York, which anyway, next day, hey, where's that tracking number so I can follow that package up the coast, because she's taking a nice little jaunt from Florida up to New York. I want to see where she's heading. No tracking. Well, then the shipping cost changed. It went down. Okay, going down is great. That's fantastic. Still no tracking number. Next day, followed up again. Now he's on the job site until 5. Can't get me the information. So the delay in the tracking numbers, that's a key thing to watch out for when they're pushing the time frame back every day. Hey, yeah, I did this. Nah, you're not seeing it. That's a huge red flag. But you know what? In our text message times, we kind of let go of it when they give you something, when they respond and say, hey, I am doing this. You accept it and you say, okay, great, thanks. I appreciate that you're doing it. Give me that update when you can. Then you see that the packages that you are being told were dropped off at UPS. They're not moving. They're not going from the location to the distribution center to, what's that tracking number? Yeah. So this is the screenshot that I was provided from the seller. And when you looked up the tracking number, you literally could go to the UPS website and plug that tracking number in. And for sure, it showed on the way. When you call UPS, and I did, what's going on with the tracking number? Well, what were you told about the tracking number? I'm told that you guys have possession of a package with that tracking number. Only a label was created. No billing information is behind this type of screenshot. You might be provided screenshots from the phone. They are not always real. Please follow up, vet what you're getting, the information. UPS does not have the container. I'm texting, the contact, and I'm being told otherwise. No, I dropped it off. No, it's there. Well, UPS doesn't have it and it's not moving. UPS works. We all know this. So resources that if you are scammed and it does not go well, please contact the FTC, because generally with our drones, we're dealing over state lines and it is a federal thing, and it is being dealt with via text message or email, or you're going continental or international. So your next step would be to your local state attorney's general's office will have a consumer protection section, and you can go in there and file a report. You will need to have a local police report when you go to that attorney general's report. They'll want to see that you've already filed a local police report and you have that number. Report it, please. They need to have these numbers, because the number that I showed you from the FTC for 2021, we all know not everyone reports what happened. That number is skewed. There's probably a quarter of what's reported. The actual number is probably much higher of folks that have been scammed, which in turn, we've lost millions and millions of dollars. When you're told or when you ship a package, follow up with that service. No matter what it is, you get that phone number, you call them, you verify that that package is on the way, that they have it in hand. Take that time out. Do not trust that it is on its way via the text from the buyer or the seller. You need to cover your butt in a nutshell. And, you're the person that's either going to lose the drone or the money, and make sure that you treat it as such. There is a new website that was created recently, and please, it's brand new and it's free right now. You go in, you put in your drone information, whether it's stolen or lost, add in your serial number, and then hopefully you can find it when someone else goes to buy it. The site is brand new, so I'm not very familiar with it yet, but it's a new resource for us. It was in a commercial web. It was off of Vic's partner. I cannot remember his name right now. He had the idea. And
is that Kenji?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. Yes, Kenji. He had the idea and someone bit it and went off and did this website. So it is more legitimate in my mind, to go and add that information in and cover ourselves. Share your experience. No matter how frustrated I was with the scenario, I did tell this individual, when I see you at a conference in the future, I want to have a good relationship with you. I'm not going to have a good relationship with this individual. I'll be professional, but my internal feelings want to do something else to this person. I mean, the sensation, I just do not want to have anyone else experience it. We are a small community right now, and this individual is young, and I don't think he understands long game yet, but I think he will find out the hard way with his actions. So I'm going to leave it at that and let him do it. Obviously, you'll be able to find this posting very easily if you go in and search for it, and you'll know who this individual is. So I'm just going to leave it at that. Please, please, when you are transferring money, use your credit card or PayPal or a trusted site that you are going to be able to get your money back from. certain instances, if you use your debit card, it will not come back to you. Do not accept payment via gift cards, please. You are opening yourself up to something that I don't think we want to know. Vet the contact, but please realize even real businesses that are legitimate will sometimes act deceptively, and it's not fun, but please realize that. Remain vigilant. It's your money. You act like a dog with a bone and do not let up. And I did not. And the text that I got from that person at the end, he just was venting. And I was like, yeah, it's not a great professional look for him. But anyway, I was hesitant to share my example because I feel the feeling that comes over you when you get scammed is just unreal. So I appreciate you, Desi, for letting me share. I hope this example helps anyone in trying to buy a drone and that they don't get money lost or anything else. And UPS packages can be intercepted, but it's not a guarantee. But please know that. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate you sharing and bringing some attention to it, because it is something that's very legitimate that we need to be aware of. I love that you offered some tips for how to report it, what to watch for, some of the examples that you had said in there. It's all really good information. Looks like Chanel has her hand up. Chanel, did you have a question that you wanted to unmic for or put into the chat, or was that back when we were saying, have you bought something online?
Yeah, that was back, back when we were saying, have you bought something online? But I just, that's a tip for everyone. I bought a drone from a pawn shop, and it's wonderful at pawn shops because they run the serial number to make sure it's not stolen. And then I was able to fly it before I buy it. And yeah, so that was a really safe experience. And I'm so sorry that you went through that. That's just awful.
Thank you.
That is one of the reasons I always suggest just going straight to the reputable company, one in your area or someone that you can actually build a rapport with. And then if you have any technical questions as you're going through the process, you can always go right back to them as well. Looks like Jennifer Pigeon actually posted a page. Jennifer, is that something on Facebook that you found?
Yeah, that's something on Facebook. So I haven't had the issue with purchasing a drone, more on the service side of things. And there's a lot of scammers out there. You know, they'll happily take your, you know, $200 a year and then not actually offer any service. And so this is a group on Facebook that has those conversations and shares specific experiences, and, you know, will actually call out the individuals that have been scamming. So yes, it's a very small industry.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So Renee said she didn't know that you can actually fly before you buy at a pawn shop. Neither did I, actually, at a pawn shop.
Me either.
Yeah. And then also suggestion would be to go in and check the data, the telemetry from the drone, and kind of look at that information and get some of the details as far as its life, right? So a lot of good information there. So after all of this, have you had it completely resolved and money's been refunded and everything's good, and anything positive that way that you can say, yes, it's all been handled good, or still waiting?
It was just recently resolved. I did just recently get refunded. Luckily, the payments went through Square. And when you call Square to ask, and they're closed on Sundays, by the way, when you call Square, they're not able to tell you when or see how things are processing. Your bank can. So when you're calling to find out what's processing at what time frame, contact your bank or your credit card provider, and they'll be able to see if the refund is in play. And it, like Desi had said, it takes 7 to 10 business days for the refund to actually show up sometimes. And it was in that process. So I did get refunded, but the drone was never shipped. And the really annoying thing was I was trying to line up like a new photo thing for my website with the new drone and some new client, you know, try to get clients. And yeah, it was crushing, just brutal. Yeah.
So have you ordered a new drone now?
No.
No.
I'm still leery. I'm just,
Well, there's reputable places out there and you know you can turn to them. So don't let the experience discourage you, because you know there's so many positive ways that you can get out there and fly. Right.
Yes.
Does anybody else have a similar experience? I know we don't really have too much time, but maybe quick little shout out of something that has maybe happened or that you wanted to share. Nobody. I hear crickets.
I had an experience where it was I think it was an Inspire 1. And anyway, the first thing they wanted was the shipping. And so I sent them $70 and that's all I lost. Like after I sent the money, I was like, like everything changed. And so I was blessed to only, you know, lose $70 and learn my lesson. So, I mean, Sheila, I just think it's awesome that you got your money back.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Girl, get back in that saddle and get yourself a drone.
Yes. I know. I'm lucky to get it back.
Get back in the saddle.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't be tainted. Come on. Let's go.
I know.
Money.
I still have my DJI, so I'm using
right.
that one right now, but I'm looking, but I'm just a little scarred yet.
Sheila, what kind of drone are you looking for?
Well, I wanted to lean more cinematically because that seemed, I love the Autel Pro. I mean, I'm addicted to it. And now to find a 6K is, Autel didn't even have them. They're like, we'll give you an 8K. I'm like, it's not a 6K. I mean,
Jennifer's the Autel woman, so she'll know what to get.
That's why I'm asking. Yeah. So if you're still interested in the Autels, let's connect offline and see what we can help you with.
See, is that not what this is all about, right? Making coffee connections right here.
Thank you. And I really appreciate, it's just, it was not the drone trader experience. They're trying to also up their selling game. If you get contacted through their message system, they can track it. But when you place an ad and then they can text you separately from outside of Drone Trader's website, Drone Trader cannot track it. So there's these little things that you learn along the way with them, and it's just intense, just trying to, whoa. Then I learned about spoof numbers and everything else with that transaction. But anyway, it's just a nightmare. So yeah.
Well, very glad that it turned out well.
Yes.
Was somebody just about to say something?
Yeah, Desi's Jill. Jill Simmons. How are you? Yeah, just it's funny because this came up because about 2.5, 3 weeks ago, I saw an ad on Facebook Marketplace for a Phantom 4 Pro V2, which I'm looking for. I can't use the V2, the Pro Plus, because they use Drone Deploy for mapping, and they don't support that particular one. So, guy says he bought it as a backup, and now he's getting rid of it, and it's really never been out of the box, you know, that kind of thing. So, okay. So I send the guy an email. My email basically said that I want to buy it. If it's as you say, I'm going to come down to Miami and look at it and check out the telemetry, stuff like that. I want to meet you at either the online trading location that most police departments have set up in their lobbies, so that the two people can meet. And I will give you a check at that, I'll give you cash at that time. I said, but that's the way it's going to be. I don't hear from the guy for 5 days. Okay, so there's a red flag. And I was a cop in Massachusetts for 42 years. So yeah, I can usually spot this stuff. So I kind of ignored it. And I said, well, my husband and I talked about it. And I said, yeah, this guy, there's something wrong. So about 5 days later, he sends me another email and he says, oh, I'm sorry. I was away for work and I didn't get emails. Who doesn't get their emails on their phone, right? So I said, I never responded to him. Never responded to him. I said, no, I'm not even going to deal with you because you are far too stupid. And that's how we left it. Matter of fact, this morning, I think I just found I'm looking desperately for another one because I firmly believe that 2 is 1 and 1 is none. You gotta have a backup. And I think I found one this morning. But I'll let you know if that turns out bad too.
Well, we're hoping for good, right? We're hoping for good.
Yep, absolutely. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. I had a situation here in the San Diego area where a drone did come up and I tried, it was like P4P, perfect, you know, oh, all these great things. And I'm like, oh yeah. So I was going to ask Johnny, who Johnny's usually here. He's the one who does our editing. I'm like, Johnny, go check it out. And that guy just never got back to me. Same kind of thing. When it was actually, you could go pick it up, he ghosted me. I'm like, no, got that one in advance. So it's very sad to think that this type of thing is out there. And we're all people in nature that just want to trust everyone. And so when we see this type of thing happening, it's just disheartening. And so Sheila, we're glad that you are able to get your money back on it. And Kim, I'm not sure if you were saying something, but you're muted, so we didn't get to hear. So we're going to go to the breakout sessions, and I want to continue on with kind of the topic of, you know, what type of lessons learned have you found in the industry? Share, because this is a learning opportunity for everyone. And so we're going to go ahead and go to our breakout sessions, and thank you again for sharing your story with us. All right.
Of course, absolutely.
Okay, here we go. That kind of wraps it up.